Hey, I am Zoe. I'm an ESOL teacher from Taiwan, and I am teaching elementary school students ESOL English and then um, after school tutor school. So my students' age are between 6 year olds to 12 years old. I spend most of my time teaching the lower graders, which are the student age from 6 to 8. So this is what I do to prepare my environment before I start doing online teaching. So first is that I bought this light to light up my face, you can see, and I usually set this right behind my laptop. And since it's a circular shape, it would also, the light would be more even when I put it on my face. And I will also always have my water ready because I don't like to get up and get water in the middle of the class. But when I have too much talking, water is very important. If I can, sometimes I do level up my laptop. I bought a stand, something like this. It's a little messy, but right now I'm using it for, actually I have double screen sometimes. So that will help me prepare more materials so I can take a look at my notes. But right now I don't have my laptop ready. I don't have my laptop leveled. Um, and the steps or rituals I do before preparing my class. First is that I want to introduce an app that I use. It's called Adobe Scan. It looks like this. So this is a free app and you can use it to scan documents very easily. For my class, we do use physical materials. We do need to follow through the materials even when we are online. So I usually scan the materials and then share screen with my students so we can work on the materials together. So after I scan my documents, I'll get them ready, open the files, and prepare to share screen. Well, one last very important thing is that I always prepare my lipstick because I like to make myself look pretty. Um, that makes me feel good. um, what techniques I believe that are effective for engaging students and listeners? So what I like to do is that I call out my students' name and I make sure that their mics are always open because I will be constantly calling students to answer or to read from the content. This way, there is very little chance when they can just turn off their microphone and be silent. I also really like to use the annotation in Zoom. I'll demonstrate that later. The annotation is really good to show where I am on my document. Um, and last thing, I also like to change the setting of the videos, like change the setting from the materials to games or videos so students are feeling like they're not always looking at the same thing. Let me demonstrate it real quick right now. So here is the document that I will scan. We use Storybook to teach. So I will scan the Storybook and this is the annotation that I will use. For example, I will use a spotlight arrow so I can call out students to read and they will know where they should start. And if I do need to make some notes, I can also add some text like get out means blah, blah, blah. So, and I can also always erase this very quickly. So after we get through the materials, maybe I want to change the setting to a video. And of course, share the sound if you're sharing the video. So since I'm teaching younger children, I would like them to stand up sometimes to refresh themselves. So I'll do videos like this where they can stand up and dance.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 6.
And sometimes I'll stand up and dance with them. And I also use games from this website called Word Wall. Um, it has like many different games that you can create. This is one of the game. I like we're teaching sight words to help students read. So I already created the words that we are teaching with the points that they will get. Yes, we do have a point system, so you can spin it. And then I will call maybe Michael, can you read this one? And if he can read this out loud, then he gets 3 points. Okay, and I usually write down my points so when I get back to school, I can add the points for them. Okay. Um, what I do to engage students and to build social presence. Sometimes I do use body pose. For example, if I ask certain questions, I do ask them to answer using maybe their fingers. So if you think the answer is number one, please show number one. If you think the answer is two, then you show number two. But sometimes some older students, they don't want to show their face. They prefer typing in the chat room, which I'm okay with as well. And sometimes with younger children, I also like to do scavenger hunt. So for example, if we're teaching colors and I will say, find 3 things that's yellow, and they will run into their house and find something that's yellow. So that's something for students to showcase as well. Um, Same thing, and also because most of my classes are actually in-person classes, just because of the pandemic or different reasons that sometimes we do have to move online. So the students actually know each other already, but since they have been away from each other for so long, they do like to talk to each other and greet them and maybe have a chat a little bit. So usually I do open my classroom a little earlier and I allow students to have a chat with each others and say hi to each other. That's what I like to do to make them feel connected.